why do I feel so stuck? Why am I feeling lost? Why do I feel like I've got no power or I'm powerless? See, the thing is, see at the center of who you are at your being, you already know the truth. You know who you are and you know what it is that you want to create in this reality that we're living. You might be thinking, if that's the case, then why do so many people feel lost, feel stuck, feel powerless? It's because it's all about the conditioning, right? You've been conditioned to forget, to doubt yourself, to believe in limitations that were never real in the first place. And that's what I experienced my whole life. Okay, and when I say you, I'm talking about me as well, because as I said, this channel is about me uncovering truths about myself, about reality, about spirituality, about manifesting, creating the life that you want. And you know what? We might do some, all round creating the life you desire channel. But right now, I'm still trying to figure that out. But anyway, the truth is, you are a powerful creator. You always have been. And in today's video, I'm going to show you or educate you on what I've came to understand so that you can reclaim your power and start creating a life that you are meant to live. And for those that don't know, I'm LJ and thanks for tuning in today. So let's start with, we all have the voice of God within, Now, for many years, when I heard the word God, I would run for the hills because, especially when I went to AA meetings and they spoke about God, it was just like this detachment because I got forced to go to church when I was, younger. I was I was born a Protestant, then I was a Catholic, and it was just all this whole messed up. So you can imagine how messed up my head was. But when I heard the word God, it was like, oh, I didn't want to believe, and I had this stigma. But now that I understand that we are all God, then it's a totally different, right? Because every single human being has God within them. Okay, you're not separate from God. You are a fractal of God, and you're just having an individual human experience. Everybody on earth, it's just like the way it got described to me is this big light beam, and there's rays of light coming down to the 8 billion people. So we are all one, okay? And if you truly understood that and believed it and knew in your core, you would never worry about anything again in your life, okay? Because worry only exists in the absence of knowing, right? And when you forget your power, when you believe the illusion that you are small and limited, you're at the mercy of, outside forces, for lack of a better word. And I remember having a session with, I think it was Archangel Michael, I can't remember. I never recorded any of these and I wish I did now. But he said that, see, if you could only see how powerful you were, you would never worry about anything ever again in your life. And that's why I'm talking about this today, because you have so much power, and if you truly knew how powerful you were, you wouldn't worry about anything. You would just be creating. Because here's the secret. Every thought you have creates. And you've probably heard, if you've watched some of my other videos, you'll heard me speak about this. And I'm going to continue to speak about it because our thoughts create, right? Think about it. Everything in this physical world, outside nature itself, was once a thought. Okay? The chair you're sitting on, the device that you're watching this on. Okay? Someone had to think of it first, right? And it was all a thought before it came a reality. And your life is the same. It's a creation of what you believe. And that starts with what your thoughts are. Okay? And there's a constant battle between the voice of your higher self or God and the ego. Everything you believed about reality up until this point, most of it isn't even yours. It's programming, conditioning, stories that you've been given by your teachers, parents, society, your past experiences. Okay? But you've always had the voice of God within, right? But there's another voice that's competing for your attention, and that is the voice of your ego identity. Now, a lot of people think the ego is bad, right? The ego's not. The ego is just your vehicle of orientation. We needed the ego to have a separate experience on this planet, right? So your ego's not the enemy, but it's built from your past, and it's shaped by fear, by limitations, by everything that you've been told is realistic, okay? So when, you're coming from a place of ego, you're referencing the past. And as I've said before, the past isn't a good starting point or reference point for what you want to create in the future. Okay, now, you might be hearing this kind of stuff for the first time, right? And you might feel some resistance like I did. And you can say, this guy's talking shit, this guy's crazy. I'm not listening to him, right? But I ask you to bear with me, okay? Because that's not actually you that's speaking. That's just a part of you that's been conditioned to doubt, okay? I'm not asking you to believe me. Go and do your own research. I'm asking you to go inside, to go inwards and see for yourself. Because you have the answers within. You've always had them within, right? And your ability to create a life that you dream is determined by your level of knowing. Okay, when you know something fully without a doubt, you will create that. You will manifest that with absolute ease. Because knowing is the absence of fear. And I've had this in my life, and the most recent one, I think I've shared it before, was when I created my barber shop. When everybody else doubted me, I just knew that I was going to create it. There was not another part of me that had any fear or doubt. I just knew it was going to happen, and it happened exactly how I'd planned it. Okay? And see, everything outside of the knowing, that's all fear-based. That's when you're a fear-based creation. And fear-based creation is how most people live. Right? They create from a place of lack, from doubt, like, I hope this works out. And they don't really believe it will. Right? And that's if you're taking action towards it at the beginning, you're going to have to go with a bit of faith, like I'm doing right now. Right? But the moment you shift into true knowing, you become a limitless creator, where you know that if you want to create something or desire to create something, then you will create it. Okay, and that comes with just taking that action, because action erases the doubt. And I believe that we all came here with a purpose. In fact, it's more than a belief. I know that we all came here with a purpose. And whether you choose to follow it or not, that's up to you. But everyone has a purpose, a blueprint, a reason for being here, or we wouldn't be here. If you really sit and think about the universe, creation, how everything's working, you know that there's got to be a bigger divine plan. Just spend half an hour thinking about, the human body, different planets, water, fire, air, earth, plant, everything, right? There's a much bigger plan going on here. So your soul chose to come to Earth to create something that expands the universe itself, because the universe is constantly expanding, always expanding. But what most people do is they feel the calling, but they don't believe they have the ability to make it real, right? So rather than failing, they never try anywhere. So they struggle with that fear again. Okay, and this is when they start listening to that wrong voice in their head, the one that says, you can't do this, it's too late, you don't have what it takes. But let me tell you, and this is very crystal clear, you can. It's never too late. You are more powerful than you know. Right? I'm 46 right now, and I feel younger and more alive and better than I did when I was in my 20s and my 30s. Mind you, I was in a drunken, drug-fueled, toxic headspace throughout that whole time, but it's because I have a purpose and passion that's lit within me, something that I knew for a long time that I had, but I was too scared to go and chase it. But now, and I still have the doubts, and I still have the fears, and I still will have that. But you know what? I don't let them derail me or stop me from taking the action. And this is what the whole point of this channel is to show you firsthand that it's not too late. If you want something, you need to go out and start creating it. It's time to stop living and for other people's expectations, and it's time to start doing what it is that you came here to do. And there's an old fable, is it what you call it? It's I think it's a Cherokee story, and one of the chiefs or the elders, he's teaching his grandson about life, and he said inside every person there's a battle going on between two wolves. He said one wolf represents anger, envy, greed, resentment, lies, fear, and the other one represents joy, peace, humanity, kindness, truth, love, faith. Okay, and then the grandson said to the grandfather, which wolf wins? And the grandfather said, whatever one you feed. So every single day, you have the choice to listen to. You either choose to feed the wolf that will free you, okay? So you can feed your power, your faith, your creativity, or you can feed your fear, doubt, excuses. Right? It's up to you. You have the ability to feed whatever wolf that you want to. Right? Because up until this moment in time, you have already been a creating machine. Right? You've created everything in your life. Right? Up until this moment, the good, the bad, whatever. Right? But now it's time to start consciously creating. Okay? You've created everything right now. Your result is based on what you've believed, what you've focused on, you know, what you've expected up until this point. Okay? And look around, right? Some of what you've created you might love, some of it you hate, some of it you wish that you'd never created, but you created it all. Okay? And you did that without realizing that you were creating it, or you had no idea how powerful you were. Now imagine what would happen if you started to create on purpose, if you started to go for what it is that you truly want, if you stopped focusing on what you don't want and you started directing your energy towards what you do want. Because as I've said before, most people aren't focused on what they think they're focused on. They're focused on being in debt, how much debt they're in. They're focused on being overweight. They're focused on a job they hate. You know, they're focused on all the negatives, you know, and if they're focused on that, they're going to recreate that. But if you focus on living life with purpose, having a beautiful, healthy body, having a healthy, loving relationship, you know, doing a job that you wake up with excitement every day, if you direct your energy with there, and if you knew without a doubt you could create anything, then that's what you would create. So as a switch your focus, okay? Ask yourself, where is my focus? Am I focusing on the negative, or am I focusing on what it is that I can create? Okay, this is what becoming a master creator is all about. It's about knowing what you want and putting your focus and attention on that. Okay, pay attention to your thoughts, what comes up. You know, do they tell you all the reasons why it's not possible? Okay, because if they do, that's just your conditioned ego trying to keep you small, limited, playing the same. But there's that other voice, okay, the one that you're probably not listening to, the one that gives you inspiration, the one that reminds you about how perfect you are just as you are, the one that makes you feel alive, the one that gives you the dreams, the vision. That's the voice that you need to listen to. Okay, because, and some people are thinking, well, how do I do that? Right, it's not very difficult, okay? To tap into that creative power, right? And to understand what you truly want, right? Find a quiet place, close your eyes, take some deep breaths and ask yourself, if there was no limits, what would I create? What would I create if there was no limits? And you'll hear that voice saying, whatever it is that you come up with, then there'll be that other voice that's saying, you're not good enough, you're not ready, you're too old, this, that, or the next thing. Just know that voice is not real. That's fear trying to keep you in the known. The truth is, you're a powerful, unlimited creator. And the only thing standing between you and the life that you want is the belief that you can do it. You don't need permission. You don't need to wait for the right moment. The right moment is now. So if you're ready to step in to that true power, subscribe to the channel, because this is what this channel's about, reminding you how powerful you are. I'm going to keep reminding you of what's truly possible when you know the truth. Because once you know, everything changes. Okay, and I might do a follow-up video on this, diving a bit deeper. But right now, that's all from me. There'll be another video up here. Sending you much love. Take care, and ciao for now.